Hello, welcome to T-Top TV channel. In this video, we introduce you top 5 of the scariest dolls in the world that have scary secrets. Before we start, please like this video and subscribe to our channel to watch other videos. The first scary doll is named Robert. The story of Robert the doll dates back to the early 1900s when a young boy named Eugene Robert Otto was given a one-of-a-kind handmade doll by a servant that worked for his parents in his home. Eugene, who everyone called Gene, named the doll Robert and quickly became attached to his new friend. The home where Eugene lived, now called the Artist House, is located at 534 Eaton Street and was built between 1890 and 1898. It was here that Eugene was given Robert the doll, and where a friendship that lasted throughout his lifetime and beyond was forged. While he seemed like an ordinary cloth doll, it wasn't long before Robert was involved in strange and somewhat terrifying events. One night when Jean, who was only 10 years old, awoke to find Robert the doll sitting at the end of his bed staring at him. Moments later, his mother was awakened by his screams for help and the sound of furniture being overturned in her son's bedroom. Jean cried for help, begging his mother to rescue him. When she finally was able to wrench the locked door open, she saw poor Jean curled up in fear on his bed. His room is shambles and Robert the doll sitting at the foot of the bed. Many believe that the origin of Robert's evil lies in the one who originally gave him to Jean Otto, the servant who worked for Jean's parents. This woman was supposedly mistreated by her bosses, and to punish them, it is believed that she cursed the doll with voodoo and black magic. Robert the doll continues to taunt and scare those who come to view him, especially guests to the museum who attempt to take photos. Many have reported their cameras becoming inoperable when they tried to take a picture of Robert, only to begin working again when they left the museum. Robert the doll sits inside a glass case, but it doesn't seem to stop him from inflicting fear and discomfort to museum staff and visitors. The second doll is named Letta. The story of Letta is one of those that, if only portions of it are true, it's damned creepy. Owner Kerry Walton said he discovered the doll in the 1970s under the floorboards of an abandoned house he was scavenging in Wagga Wagga, New South Wales, Australia. Wooden and with glass eyes, the doll was put in his trunk. Walton then proceeded to drive home until that is he heard movement and a howl of "Let me out." Hence the name Letta was born. Upon bringing Letta home, Walton said his children were terrified of it and said they heard it talking to itself and moving on its own. Also, dogs apparently acted aggressively toward it. When he had it examined, Walton claimed Letta dated back 200 years, made with real human hair by Eastern European gypsies, and it was supposedly haunted by a restless spirit of a drowned boy. Unsurprisingly, Letta made the television rounds and became a famously haunted doll, and Walton has vowed not to get rid of it, despite the inky cloud of dread and anxiousness hanging around it. Then again, he does travel with the doll and charge for photographs with it. The third scary doll is called Okiko. The doll was bought in Sapporo by a 17-year-old Eikichi Suzuki in 1918 for his 2-year-old sister Okiko. Suzuki went back home and gave the doll to his little sister. The Taik fell in love with the doll immediately. It transferred into Okiko's favorite toy and, more importantly, her best friend. Okiko played every day with the doll, took it everywhere, and treated the figurine like a little sister. In 1919, Okiko died. Yellow fever had descended on the land and robbed the family of the little girl. Okiko died gasping for air. In pain and afraid, the doll held firmly in her grasp. She was only 3 years old. One day, the family started to notice that the doll's hair was getting longer. Once a traditional shoulder length cut with neat ends, now a mangled mess of split ends reaching down past her waist. It was scruffy, different colors, and felt different. At night, they started to dream of Okiko, and sometimes the doll would appear by their side come morning. The chilling events intensified, lights flicking on and off, bangings in the house, noises and strange voices. The closer the year got to certain key dates, Okiko's birthday and the day of her death. As the years passed on, the doll's fame grew and her powers further developed. She is bolder now, invading the dreams of the priest and those that come to visit her. She is stronger, her hair growing faster and wilder, and she even spookier. The first scary doll is called Peggy. Peggy was owned by British investigator Jane Harris of Haunted Dolls and has been reported to cause nausea, dizziness, headaches, and perhaps even heart attacks in those that simply see her photo. Those that encounter her in person might even go mad. Harris came into possession of Peggy courtesy the previous owners who said the doll was causing bad dreams, and mediums who have visited the doll have claimed she is inhabited by a spirit persecuted in life, possibly with ties to the Holocaust. Harris came to believe Peggy's spirit is a woman from 1946 London who died of an illness that ailed her chest. The woman also apparently hated clowns. The last scary doll you must know is called Annabelle. The Warrens' account of Annabelle has it that in 1970, a mother purchased the Raggedy Ann doll from a hobby store as a birthday gift to her adult daughter Donna Jennings. The Warrens were allegedly called into the case by Episcopal clergy. At first, Jennings said the doll's position would change while she was away at work, or would appear to be standing or kneeling on its own. Stapleton said the doll would change rooms while they were gone, and then handwritten notes in parchment began to appear, with writing that looked like a child, saying "help us" or "help Lou." One night they discovered blood on the doll's hand and chest, and even weirdly, a piece of chocolate seemed to appear. The name Annabelle Higgins was introduced by a medium the nurses consulted. The medium claimed Annabelle was the spirit of a 7-year-old girl who had lived in happier times when the apartments were still filled.